Billy, I think you played against Sergio Parise 3 times in England-Italy matches. Has it been odd preparing for a game against Italy where you haven't had to discuss the name Parise?
You could say that. Yeah, you're right. I think obviously when you play any team, you pick out their danger men, and I think the focus has changed slightly from Parise to a Pelledri. He's a massive threat in himself. So it is a bit strange, but it's not to say that they don't have any other threats around the pitch.
Pelledri obviously is a guy that you will all know well from Premiership experience. So is it a case of being forewarned is forearmed, if you like?
Yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, like any team we play, we pick out their biggest threats, and like you mentioned there, we see a lot of him in the Premiership, and we see a lot of the good work he does, and a lot of that is through his carrying. And so we'll like any other team, we'll try and make sure that he doesn't have as much of an influence in this game.
Can I just ask you about the journey to Italy yesterday? Obviously, there's all the checks and all the bits and pieces you have to go through. Did it feel different? Did it feel like a different rugby journey, if you like?
Oh, it's definitely different. You just got to look outside of, into the wider world. The whole world has changed, and for it to be the way it was yesterday was really, really smooth sailing. And it's always been the same with us. So in that aspect, it wasn't. But obviously, with all the checks and all the paperwork, and luckily for myself and many other boys, we didn't have to organise too much. So we just had to bring our chargers and our iPads, and we're on the plane.
And just finally, from me, look, I presume you're not being allowed out of the hotel with a game that doesn't kick off till tea time tomorrow. What are you going to do to kill the time? I imagine that normally you might go for a walk, you might go and have a coffee locally, whatever. How are you going to kill that time if you've got to spend it all in the hotel?
Oh, it's not too bad. Just hang out with the boys. Some of the boys have bought their PS4s. Maybe dish up a few beatings on FIFA if anyone's keen for it. But other than that, just get my head on the game, and once the game's over, then we can relax and again just hang out with each other some more.
Cheers, Billy.
Chris Jones, please.
Hi, Billy. Could you just talk a bit about how you've rationalised mentally and physically that the period of not being able to play matches? You'd prefer to be out there with a ball in your hand. So has that been quite difficult to get your head around that? And are you a bit of a coiled spring going into this game?
In terms of having, I guess, a long break between my last game and this game, it hasn't been a challenge at all. Like I said before, the world's a different place at the moment, and I've just kind of bided my time. Try to, obviously, the ongoing battle with trying to keep my weight down and make sure that I'm in the best physical shape that I can be for when I'm called upon to play. And I'm just excited, like you said, to go out there and play. And you could say that I am a bit of a coiled spring, but I don't want to talk too much about that. I want to do my talking on the pitch tomorrow.
And on the pitch, the key thing is, so can I just follow up, on the pitch, the pressure is for a 4-try bonus point win. How do you not get ahead of yourselves?
I think any team that has Eddie, you're not allowed to get ahead of yourself. So our biggest focus is how we can set a foundation from when we can kick on from. We've watched a lot of our own training sessions and different trends within the game. We've got to make sure that we play the English way, and that's through our set piece, and make sure that we dominate, and that's our intentions. And then after that, hopefully we can play and put some points on board.
Cheers, Billy.
Johnny, please. Thanks.
Hi, Billy. I was just wondering if there's anything you can tap into, either good or bad, from that game. I know it was a while ago, 2015, similar kind of situation. The shootout with France, it went a bit crazy. That one at Twickenham. Anything there?
I think one thing that I personally learned from that was that I guess we went out there with the intentions of trying to put points on board. But like I said to Chris there, I think we let it be too frantic. We didn't set the foundations of playing in the right areas, making sure that we try and wear them down. And we allowed it to become sort of a sevens feel. I remember it vividly because of how loud it was. You know, I think we just let too many points slip past us, and I think that's been the focus this week, is how we can play our way and make sure that we do what we need to do to put us in a good position. Because at the moment we're relying on other results to go our way. So our biggest focus is on us and the team that we've got to play.
Cool. Thanks.
Gavin, please.
Yeah, hi Billy. It's Johnny kind of stole my question there, but I guess have you reviewed that game collectively, individually, and I suppose you touched on it there, but probably you've looked back defensively, going, you know, given all the tries you scored, you probably let a lot leak that ultimately ate into that points difference.
I'd be lying if I said that we have. I think our biggest focus has been on the group that we've had. There's quite a few new faces. I know we have a few, 50 caps for Jamie and the 100 for Lenny, but there are a few new caps in there. And our biggest focus is how we can gel as a team. And like you said, we don't want the game to become a sevens festival. We want to play good, solid English rugby, and that's, you know, solid platform for the backs, and that starts with us up front. And then hopefully when the game does break up a little bit, we can put some points on the board.
Can we come to Charlie Morgan next, please?
Hi Billy. I just wondered, you're obviously not gonna have Manu in your back line this week. I wondered whether in the build-up, is there a sense that there's more of an onus on you from a carrying point of view? Does your role change at all without him there?
I'm not too sure, but I've never really thought of it like that. I think not having Manu there obviously takes a little bit of weight off my shoulders, but everyone else's. You know, he's one of those players you can just give him the ball and he'll give you gain line ball by himself, not without any options inside or outside of him. I guess the onus will be on myself to bring that, but also what do I need to do to help the team? And that's making decisions of when to carry and when to give the ball to someone else. And I think that comes down to trusting the people around me. And you know, we got dynamic carriers next to me. You got Curry, who is a freak. He's a back row, but he's just as fast as our wingers. So it's about incorporating everyone else and not focusing solely on what I'm doing, but what I can do to help the team.
Thank you.
Gail Davis next, please.
Hi Billy, it's obviously a year, isn't it, since you last played for England, and you've talked since about that not being a great representation of yourself. So despite the craziness of the last year or so, how are you feeling yourself? How are you feeling about being back, and how different might that look come tomorrow when you're playing?
I think a lot of what I said about last year was to do with off the pitch. I think, like I said before, it was private to me and the people that were involved. But I've had conversations with Eddie where we talked about just being the happy-go-lucky guy. I think I got too bogged down with the whole pressure of the World Cup, the pressure of what Charlie asked there, being the guy the go-to guy, and not focusing on my teammates and helping my teammates. I think hopefully you'll see a happier version of me tomorrow. It's been tough with the run of games that we've had at Sarries, obviously not playing for anything. And then we had 2 games where I guess our season kind of relied on. And for me, it sounds really, really cliche, and I hate saying it, but it is about enjoying it. And I think I just got too bogged down with all the details, and I play best when I'm instinctive and decisive. So hopefully I can, like I said before, I want to do my talking on the pitch and not so much off it.
Thanks. Chris Boy, please.
Hi, Billy. I just wondered if you could put into words the desire for another title, really. I mean, you obviously had the Slam in 2016 you were a full part of, and then a partial role in 2017 when there was another title, and then not another one since then. So just what it matters to you, what it matters to the squad, and obviously Eddie put some high pressure on you with high expectations, what it means to him and what he's demanding of you,
I think it's massive. I think watching if anyone watches rugby league, the Melbourne Storm have won it, and I think similar to them, our biggest thing is we want people to smile back home, and we want people that are going through a tough time to be happy. And like you said there, as much as we don't want to talk about it, we want to play good rugby, and we want to win something, and we want to make sure that once we come off the pitch that we know we left no stones unturned. I think that's probably the biggest inspiration that we can provide for the country at the moment, is by giving them something to smile about with a trophy. Everyone smiles with a trophy, so hopefully we can do that. But like I said before, we need to start by giving a platform where we know that we're serious about it, and we're not just going to go there and play, offloading rugby from the off. It might come later on, but we have to set foundations to start with.
And Jared, we'll come to you, please.
Hi, Billy. I was just wondering if you talked much this week about that pre-World Cup game against Italy, how difficult it was to break them down early on, and the sort of real need to stay patient towards the end.
Yeah, it was part of a few games that we talked about where I guess we probably didn't get it right in terms of where we were mentally. Like I keep saying, it's not a sales pitch, but we need to go out there and show our intentions is to win this game and not just to breeze through it. I think if we're talking about that game, we knew that there was a flight the following week to the World Cup, and there was a lot of, I guess, a lot of people were thinking about what's going on the following week rather than focusing on the game. And our sole focus this week is what can we do to come away with this, with the trophy. And our biggest focus has been on ourselves and making sure that we are mentally there, because the two go hand in hand. If your head's in it, your body follows. So, and vice versa. So I think for us, it's about giving people around us the impression that we are ready, and not just the impression, but showing people that you are ready. And I think that's important for this game, especially against Italy, and having no crowds there. So we have to provide our own energy within the group.
Great, and then we'll finish up with Duncan, please. Thanks.
Hey, Billy. Hi. Just wondering what will be the squad's approach to marking the Black Lives Matter movement tomorrow, and how much discussion has there been this week about that?
It's been an ongoing discussion. It's not just been a one-off. We talked about it the first week we got in, and obviously again approached the matter before we played, or before we were going to play the Barbarians. And I think, like anything in life, it's a personal choice, and the leaders made that clear, made everyone in the room comfortable with what they wanted to do to mark it. And we're here to respect each other's opinions, different or the same, and that's where we've left it. And you'll probably see that tomorrow. Sorry.